Hey everyone, this is Bhargav from Kaarvi AI. Today is going to be way more exciting because we are about to explore some seriously powerful features that can completely change how you work with data. What you're about to see is not just transformation, it's a whole new way of building and running the pipelines. Now that we have validated our data and ensured its quality on profiling and fixed validation module, the next step is transforming that data into something meaningful. Because raw data alone doesn't create value, it needs to be structured, enriched, and prepared for the analysis. And that's exactly where Carvey's transformation module comes in. Now, here I am in the transformation section. Now, this module allows us to design, execute, and manage complete data pipelines all in one place. It's not just about transforming the columns, it's about building end to end ETL workflows from raw data to production ready outputs. Kaarvi provides two powerful ways to build the pipelines. One is AI assistant pipeline, where here we simply describe what we want in plain language and the system understands the requirement and automatically builds the pipeline. This dramatically reduces the development time and there is no need to there is no need to manually configure each and every step. Alternatively, we can manually build the pipelines using the components on the left panel here. This gives us full control over the data flow, transformations, and logic. That makes Kaarvi flexible for both AI assisted workflows and highly customized manual pipelines. Everything starts by selecting the dataset, right? So for the AI assisted workflows, you select your dataset here, and for the manual workflows, you can simply select the dataset by clicking on the data source here, and you can go ahead here and select the dataset. Now, at the center here, we have the visual ETL canvas. Each node represents a transformation step, and the connections represent the data flow. This makes the entire pipeline easy to understand, explain, and debug. And on the left side, we have all the components like input from, you can do it from your data source or API source. And we have transform where you have column mapper, formula, code block, AI processor, and then flow. And then the final destination, we have the output. So this modular structure gives us a clear and scalable way to build the pipelines visually. And below, if you scroll down, we have the template library, and we also have, where the pre-built pipelines are there. And this also includes the AI recommendations, reusable templates, and popular use case templates as well. It helps the users to start faster, reuse the proven logic, and reduce the implementation time. And then let's go ahead and start by writing a prompt on AI assisted pipeline builder here. So for which first I have to select the dataset. There we go. We have selected the dataset and I have my prompt ready. Um, this one. We provide a structured prompt describing the transformations we want, and instead of manually building each transformation step, we simply explain the desired logic in natural language. See that? That means the users focus on business intent while Carvi handles the pipeline construction. Now, once we click on generate, Carvi automatically creates the required nodes, connects them in sequence. This is one of the strongest features in the module because it converts plain language instructions directly into the executable ETL workflow. Let's wait for it to load. There we go. We got our notification and the nodes are built along with the transformations written in them. See that? So, this removes a huge amount of manual setup and dramatically speeds up the pipeline development. The AI generated pipeline applies the following transformations that I have written in the prompt. One is standardizing the well type column here, and second one is creating the horizontal flag by let's see here. Yeah, by measuring the lateral length. If the lateral length is greater than 0, then it's going to be yes, and if it's not, then it's going to be no. So that's our second transformation. And then we are also calculating the integrity, and we are also calculating the depth difference. We are flagging the missing values and categorizing the complexity as well in one single prompt. These steps convert well data into structured analysis ready data. So, why these transformations matter is even though the transformation steps are compact, they are very meaningful. They clean the inconsistent values, create business flags, generate quality indicators, and convert the raw measurements into useful analytical categories. So, the output is not just a transformed data, it is improved, enriched, and ready for the downstream use in analytics, reportings, or APIs. All the transformations are shown as nodes on the canvas. That means every step is transparent. You can clearly see how the data is moving, which logic is being applied, and in what sequence they are applied. Everything is transparent. This visibility makes the pipeline much easier to review and maintain than traditionally, hidden ETL scripts. So once the pipeline is generated, we can execute it directly. First, let me select the output here. I'd like to generate a CSV file type output, or we also have push to the database option, or we can also save it to the smart catalog. So let me rename this, not the dashboard, it's transformation 06, because I performed 6 different transformations in this one single prompt. I'm gonna save this and hit validate, wait for it to load, and then run now. So once the pipeline is generated, we can execute it directly. Kaarvi processes the dataset, applies all the requested logic across the records. This turns a plain language prompt into a real transformation workflow in seconds. I'm waiting for it to load. Minimize this. See this here? It's still loading. Also, you can check the status here. There we go. We got our final notification. It's a pretty big data set. It has like 60,000 rows and 44 columns. And see our so um, after the execution, we immediately got our post-run data preview here, where we can inspect the transformed output, verify newly created columns, and confirm that the logic has worked as is expected. So here are our newly created columns. I mean, this instant feedback makes the pipeline testing and validation much faster. Now let's go also check the pipeline output on the CSV file. So yeah, there we go. Here are our newly created columns post transformations on AI assisted transformations. There we go. Right. Now, that's about the AI assisted pipeline builder on Kaarvi AI in transformations. Next, let's go ahead and look at the manual transformation flow, which is equally important. We have saved this, cleared this up, clear this, And select this and clear this as well. So in this demonstration, I'm going to create a very simple manual pipeline by selecting the data source and select the necessary data set. Give it a name, demo transformations 02, because I'm going to apply two simple transformations here. And we also have multiple components here like column mapper. So when you select on column mapper, it also has multiple operations like you can drop the columns, select multiple columns, reorder them, change them into uppercase, lowercase, title case, and so on. And then we also have a formula component here where you can perform multiple operations, as you can see. Similarly, we have multiple components where we can perform multiple operations to any kind of data set. Now, in this particular demo, I'm going to use the code blocker where I'll be giving a Python script to make like two transformations. I'm gonna copy this and paste it here and click on execute. We also have a SQL uh, script generator slash writer here where you can write the manual SQL scripts to perform certain transformations. There we go. Our code is valid, and I'm going to select the final destination, that is output. Click on that. I like downloading the CSVs always. But as I mentioned earlier, we also have an other option to download it to the database. I mean, push it to the database, or you can save it to the smart catalog here by clicking here on this button. So in this code block, we can either write our transformation logic or use the AI generated as well. See that? So the block supports both the Python and SQL, giving technical users flexibility while still allowing the AI assistance when helpful. This is a strong example of how Kaarvi combines automation with control. So in the short demo, the manual script performs tasks like standardization of a column and creating flags and applying custom transformation logic. So even every compact example demonstrates how easily users can inject custom business rules into the pipeline. Now, let me save this and click on validate. Wait for the notification and hit on run now. So the pipeline is triggered. So once executed, the transformed data flows into the output node. From there, it can be downloaded or exported in the configured format. This makes the manual transformation simple, fast, and production friendly. Let's wait for the final notification. Post run is still loading. There we go. We got our final notification. It has processed 60,000 rows in a few seconds. Also downloaded our CSV output. There we go. But I'd like to simply say check out my post run. There we go. We have our newly created columns with all the necessary transformations applied within a few seconds. So, manual transformation, if you ask me why it is important or why it matters, is it is important because not every workflow should, rely entirely on the generated logic. Sometimes teams need precise control, custom conditions, or fine tuned scripts. Carvey supports that without sacrificing the usability. Now that we have demonstrated the manual transformations. I have already saved this, so I'm going to clear this up. Let's move to the live pipelines block that we have here. This one, I'm sorry. So, live pipelines allows workflows to run automatically when the source data changes. Uh, so as the streaming or continuously updated data gets added to the database, the pipeline can trigger automatically, run the job, and update the output as well. This turns transformations from one-time task into an active operational data process. So from the screen, we can see several important controls and settings. There is the status indicator showing whether the pipeline is idle or running. And then there is auto export, which helps push outputs automatically after the execution. Then there is trigger debounce, which controls how quickly the pipeline reacts to incoming changes and the processing mode. And there is on failure behavior as well, which decides what happens if the execution encounters an issue. So together, these controls make live execution reliable and production ready. This is strong selling point because it reduces the manual work and supports near real-time processing. Instead of running transformations every time source data changes, the system can react automatically. That keeps downstream outputs fresh and reduces operational effort. That's about the live pipelines. And we also have recent pipelines where we have just created two of them using the AI assistant and manual transformations. So the recent pipeline section gives visibility into previously created pipelines. We can search them, filter them by status, and review version history as well. And from the actions menu, available actions include versions history, share pipeline, publish API, create a dashboard, publish as a template. Also, we can delete the pipeline. This means Kaarvi is not just helping us build pipelines, it is helping us manage the full pipeline lifecycle. And then we have published APIs. Now, this is another most powerful capability in this module, publishing pipelines as APIs. Let me demonstrate that. Here we can see metrics such as total published APIs, active APIs, paused APIs, requests, and average latency. This gives a clear operational view of how published pipelines are performing as data services. A pipeline can be exposed as an API so that the transformed output becomes directly consumable by other systems. That means the pipeline is no longer just an internal ETL process. It becomes a reusable service as well. And when we open the published API details, we get access to the API endpoint, metadata endpoint, token management, and code examples and direct access options. This makes integration much easier for developers and downstream systems. For secure access, we can regenerate the token always. See that? When this happens, a new token is created and previous token becomes invalid. That is important security feature because it allows controlled access rotation whenever needed. Now, Kaarvi also provides the direct URL, and that includes the API token. We can copy the direct URL and simply open incognito and paste the direct URL here, enter. When the direct URL is open, we instantly get the pipeline output in JSON format. This is powerful demonstration because it shows that the transformation pipeline is not just generating files, it is also exporting live structured data programmatically. This removes the need to build a separate backend API layer for transformed data. The pipeline itself becomes an API. that is a major productivity and integration advantage for modern data platforms. Kaarvi combines AI driven pipeline generation, manual drag and drop design, reusable templates, live execution, and API publishing all in one platform. That means users can go from raw input to transformed, operational, and shareable data without switching between multiple tools. With Kaarvi, transformation is no longer slow, code heavy, or difficult to operationalize. Instead, it becomes visual, automated, flexible, and production ready. From AI generated pipelines to manual custom logic, from live execution to published APIs, everything is unified in one system. And that is what makes Kaarvi transformation module truly powerful. Thank you. This is about transformations module.